I feel like a lot of people inside of a company, they feel very scared and hesitant to speak up. They don't want to make trouble. They don't want to get reprimanded. They don't want to look stupid. So how does this translate into a work environment where you're surrounded by your peers, your coworkers, your managers who are judging you? Any advice for how to deal with that?
Yeah, whether you're speaking up at the dinner table or in the meeting, it's the same type of fear of you not wanting to be the person that stands out too much. You don't want to be the one that rocks the boat. You know, we're afraid of being the one that disrupts it. But here's the thing. We're all sitting there uncomfortable when somebody makes a joke that's not good, that we are not proud of, that we would not laugh at if other people saw. So when we're at a company, around a table with our colleagues, and they put forth an idea that's not thoughtful, that we would not be proud to attach our name to, and we're quiet, what we're doing in that moment is choosing the fake harmony over the necessary truth that should be told. You can be thoughtful troublemakers, you know, and by just saying, hey, I would love for us to rethink that idea because I want to make sure that it will make the impact we would like for it to make. That is a thoughtful way to make trouble in that room. Because you're saying, let's think about the questions we haven't thought about. Let's think about the blind spots that we haven't thought about. Let's make sure that this messaging hits in the way it needs to hit. And if you are at the table, you should be somebody who other people trust to hold them accountable and to watch their back, right? If I'm sitting at the table, you know that the work we're gonna create is gonna be as thoughtful as possible because I will ask you about it if it's not. And it's not about interrogating you, and it's not about making you look stupid. It's about saying, hey, you know, all our heads are necessary to make this as good as it needs to be. So our questions are necessary. I think question asking and challenges are favors. When you have a company of people who never challenge you, you're going to fall flat on your face more times than are necessary. Because if you create an environment where people don't feel like they can come to you with challenges and they can come to you with questions, what they'll do is they'll just let you fail over and over again, as opposed to feel deeply invested and responsible for what happens. So I think it's for companies, it's not even a matter of whether you should tolerate troublemakers. You shouldn't just tolerate them. Adam Grant, his book Think Again, his book and my book talk to each other and we didn't even realize it, but he calls it the challenge network. So what I call the troublemakers, he calls the challenge network. You need challenge network in your life because how do you know when you're actually doing what you're supposed to do in the best way possible? How are people going to be around you and feel comfortable bringing their best selves if they don't feel like they can tell you the truth about an idea or ask you a question about it? Companies have to not just tolerate troublemakers and challengers, they have to celebrate them. Welcome them. Like when I'm in a meeting, I'm the CEO of my own company, and when I'm in a meeting with my team, I don't ask who agrees, I ask who disagrees. I say, does anybody think, is there holes in here that we're missing? I ask about what I've missed as opposed to ask for somebody to say, yes, that's an amazing idea. I don't need that. I need the person who tells me, let's make this stronger, or I don't think we should actually do this. Here's why. You know, and it makes me a better leader to be able to trust my team to do that for me because I know that I can come to them with ideas, half-baked. And if they're half-baked, by the time the meeting is done, it will be fully fledged. As opposed to me thinking I have to come to the idea with a full idea because if I don't, they won't tell me if it's still half-baked. I think the work is actually in welcoming the challenges, welcoming the question and saying, I would love to hear if you disagree with this and how we can make this better. That will always get you better work than when you're asking for approval and cosigns.